you. Okay, so let's talk about what's in here. It is actually, sorry, that was distracting me. It is actually the 70 GSM Hemlock and Oak Weekly Daily Combo. So, I want to tell y'all a little bit about it. First things first, I used a kids gloves and glue stick to put on just these, okay? And I'm not going to be using any more stickers or washi, but I was like, man, I just want to make the front cute. So I need to look at that all year. Okay. Next, these pins are actually like pinned on through the cover, which is why I felt the need to cover it up. And then I like bent in the pins so that they didn't poke out. And be careful if you do that. You could hurt yourself, hurt your planner, hurt your pen, ruin your pens. So, you know, to each their own with that. This is just going to be like a plan with me, but just in the intro here, I am going to just show you how I'm getting on so far in here. The first thing y'all probably want to know is about the pen test. So, I am redating this. This is the dated monthly, weekly. So like it goes September with the month, September with the weeks, September with the days, and then it keeps going. It does have a different font and of course a different paper. This is 70 GSM than their original, but I'm in love with this. This is my absolute new favorite planner, favorite paper. You cannot rip me away from this. So I used my normal Tombows and a 0.5 Pigma Micron on this page. I also used some fountain pens, which is the brown, and when you turn the page, this is what you see. This overhead light makes it look more dramatic than in like a normal daylight. So this is, if you're thinking, ooh, that's kind of a lot, this is actually, it kind of looks more harsh on camera for whatever reason. So this is the pen test page that I did in the back, and then I ripped it out. I'll just pause real quick in case y'all want to screenshot the type of pens I use. These are actually watercolor, so they're like the Faber Aqua, and then I put water over them, and then I put gel pen, fountain pen, and Pigma Micron over them. This is a Tombow with a fountain pen over it. This was a smudge test. This is a Sharpie. These are more fountain pens that I own. These are Uniball 1, Micron, some Le Pens, you know, the ones I use a lot. This is the Tombow Futunesque. And boom. So you can see the Sharpie. And you can see some ghosting. This here was from ink that was on my hands. Because like if I put my thumb there, like there is nothing on the other side right there. That was just smearing. So that was not actual bleed through or anything. The dot markers behaved very well. I don't see any feathering of the fountain pen ink. This pen was running out, so that has nothing to do with the paper. It does smear a little bit easily, so be careful with that when you're writing in here. Let's compare it to a Midori notebook. Okay, here are some doodles I did in the Midori. So if y'all want to compare bleed through, like you can see that you can see through the Midori a lot more. There's a lot more ghosting. And some people said that the 70 GSM Hemlock and Oak seemed yellow to them. I think that might just be on camera. I don't know if they actually have one, but it's really not. Like here's the Midori and it's much more yellow than the Hemlock and Oak. Like here's another page in the Hemlock and Oak where I use the same pens and the same markers, and you can see a lot more ghosting. Okay, and then the Hobonichi comparison. Let's see if I can find a good page. I don't know, let's just do a quick little comparison, shall we? That pen's running out. I'm gonna throw it away. I keep on picking it up and it keeps ticking me off. Okay. Tombow Futunesque. I'll just do like my normal lettering. gel pen. Lip pen. Fountain pen. This is TWSBI Medium with this ink. I don't know the name of it. The little Sailor Bread guy. Okay. This does smear a lot too, so be careful, but I'm not using this planner anymore because, as you can see, this is why I ripped out the page. The ghosting in the Hobonichi is a tiny bit more. I would say it's a little bit more. Here's the Fudanesque, there's Fudanesque. And like there's the TWSBI fountain pen, and you can't see any of the fountain pens hardly down here. So I would say they're pretty similar in how they perform and how they feel. This one feels slightly thicker maybe, but they feel really, really similar. But I still prefer this one because of the layout, the hard covers, and I do just enjoy the paper more. Okay, but if you don't like Hobonichi, I would say you might also not like this if the reason is the paper. I just want to throw that out there because Hemlock & Oak does have an option for a thicker paper. You just cannot get a daily, weekly, and monthly combo in the thicker paper unless you buy their inserts, which you can purchase either disc bound or ring bound, and then you can put your own together. So that is an option with Hemlock & Oak. I don't think a lot of people maybe realize that. Okay, so here's my November monthly. I made it a Sunday start to make the dates be correct for this year. So we are going to do a spread for this current week. Let's do a weekly spread, shall we? Haven't done one of those in a long time. This one, I just need to redate it. It is a little bit harder to redate if you don't use stickers or washi. Really? My hubby just burped so loud. Did y'all hear that? Okay. I think for the dates, I am going to use the gel pen because it goes over the white out better. Oh, and this, y'all might be curious, is my Foo Dog leather planner cover. They sell Hemlock & Oak covers. If you're looking for a leather cover, they are your best bet. If you are looking for a plastic cover, I have no clue. Because I don't know, I would not put a plastic cover on this. It is just so pretty to me. Okay, today's the 13th. So that started the week off with the 10th. So I'll just redate it real fast. That looks like a 7. I'm not redoing it though, because it ain't that serious. I do think I'll put like the bottoms on the ones to make them look a little more, oh gosh, now I'm hating it. The beginning one looked great. What's up with that? This is regular whiteout. Like I said, I don't find this paper to be super yellowish at all. So this regular Tombow mono correction tape is working great for me. Let's try something else with the dates. Let me use this orange Island Coral dot marker. You will not notice the white out once I'm finished. And also this really bright light, it kind of just shows everything. Like, do y'all have those like clingy dresses that just show everything? And you're just like, could you just cut me some slack? That's how the ring light is. That's why I really don't like using it that much. I prefer the natural lighting, but when it gets dark at like 3 p.m. after daylight savings, what are the choices? Okay. I think part of the problem was I don't want to use that pen either. I'm gonna use my Pigma Micron. Okay. Oh. Stuff keeps getting stuck to my hands because I have steroid ointment on it. Okay. There we go. I like that much better. So there is 1 month until we're gonna go see Braden. We're gonna go be up there on December 12th, December 11th, and come home on the 12th. We're really excited. And so Braden only has 4 more weeks of basic training. I'm so proud of him. He's doing an absolutely amazing job. Okay, the next thing I am going to use my pencil board, a very well-loved pencil board from Hobonichi that I cut to be this size, and I'm going to make a dotted, dashed line. So today, I was supposed to get those steroid shots in my fingers. For those of y'all who watch my channel regularly, a little update. The doctor ended up looking at my hands, the dermatologist, and he said that although they're not looking great, he doesn't really feel that it's that urgent right now as far as to get the shots, because they're super painful. And he said even though it's not normal, I can just go on oral steroids for 3 weeks and it should calm it down just as well as the shots. That way I still type for work and still get a good effect. And then I used to be on this other steroid ointment, but he prescribed me a new one, which is this one. And that's like one of the highest percentages, because I've been on 2 other ones before and they kind of poop out on you after a while. Your skin gets used to it. So he said, well, try that first. Y'all get a kick out of this. He said, yeah, I can prescribe you Otezla. Insurance really doesn't cover it and it's super expensive, but you wouldn't have to get like blood monitoring or anything. So I was like, oh, okay, let's do that. My pharmacist called. It's a local pharmacy that I go to, and she's like, yeah, I don't have this in stock, but I could get it for you this week. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, but I'm like, just tell me. She's like, it's $5,000. And I'm like, for you to get it in stock? Because like my pharmacist is a very, like I said, it's like a very it's a local pharmacy, and like they know their patients. It's not like when you roll up to Walgreens. I want to make a little scallop there, but I want to make sure it's like, I don't know. This is a stencil from Peter Popper is the brand name, but I got it from Little Crafters. Oh, that's cute. I wish I wouldn't have gone so far over there. Anyway, I was like, so is that like your cost to like stock it? She's like, no, that's your cost for a month. I was like, the drug companies are smoking crack and I will not be doing that. So my doctor, he said he would prescribe it, but he didn't really feel that it was a must for me right now, because he said there's still other things we can try before we get there. So, and he said he can continue like ordering blood work and stuff as needed. I don't need to get a rheumatologist right now unless insurance stops covering like the stuff that he orders, and then I might have better luck to go to a rheumatologist. But he said he should be able to continue to manage my treatment right now if it's only on my fingers. I don't really have other symptoms like except fatigue, so I feel comfortable with what he said right now. Okay, I like the little scallops. I was gonna do them all down here, but I like stencils, but I don't like much have patience for them. Okay, so I'm thinking about what I want to do. I want to keep with my monthly theme, which is sweater weather. Even though I didn't draw any sweaters. I just drew a scarf. But I don't care, I'm calling it sweater weather, and I'll draw some sweaters here. In fact, let's draw one right now. Let's remedy this situation, shall we? I think down here, I want like a almost make it look like a washi border, and I'm gonna have some doodles. And no, I'm not gonna use a pencil first. I'm too lazy and I don't want to do that. And even if they turn out looking like crap, I don't care. Okay. I don't know, I just want to make it look girly. I'm going to put a little scallop on that and on the collar. This video might be long because I'm not fast at drawing. I'm like lucky that I can just draw, period. I don't draw very well, so if you came here for artistry, just look away. I like this, except I don't like this. And yes, I know I could have used pencil, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay, next I'm gonna draw some of the little things that I had done on the monthly page. Let's keep it where I can easily flip back. So like, okay, some leaves, some mushrooms, some pumpkins, some coffee cups, turkey, a little tree. I'm not gonna do too much of the tree. That was just for Black Friday because that's when we put up the tree. Okay, let me do like a little scarf now. I made it striped on some of my other spreads with this theme, but I don't want to now. Ha. So I'm not gonna. Okay. I'm gonna do a big leaf. These are very easy to draw, in my opinion. And then a mushroom. Also, I am gonna name this planner Peaches because of the peaches that are on the front right here. And it just reminds me of a Super Mario Princess Peach. So cute. That's my reason, okay? I don't know. I can't always come up with these super creative ideas, so it is what it is. Okay. This is good. Next, I'm gonna do some more leaves. Okay. Then a pumpkin. Also leaves. And I think a little face to make it kawaii. And then a corner. I need this so that I don't draw on the edges of the other pages on accident. Okay. Now the next thing is I'm going to, okay, it seems like it's pretty dry. I'm gonna draw like a line behind here. For the quote washi, like pretend these are stickers and then behind it is gonna be like some pattern washi, but I have to draw the washi. It's one thing if I'm just using gloves and like doing one-time setup, but for every day I'm still not going to be using anything with adhesive until I get further testing. That looks cute and I love it. The line behind it made me love it. Let's do one on this side. Thank y'all to everyone who has been so supportive of this big change in my normal and planner life. I just went for it because I am so bad, y'all, at spending money on everything except my health, making excuses not to go to the doctor, not to establish primary care, and I'm just getting to that age now. Like, I went to the eye doctor this week and I have to have progressives or bifocals, if y'all don't know what that is, now. So like, I'm just at that age now where I do have to start doing more preventative care, or else I am going to start having more issues potentially that could have been avoided. Okay, so this really helps me to see like where I can add some cuteness. Oh, go over there, pins. I feel like something needs to go down there. I guess it'll hurt. One of these days I'll learn how to draw more things, but I'm just going with what I'm comfortable with right now. The actual planning part is going to be very functional on these pages. I'm going to put literally every single thing in here, like hour by hour, and have my like event boxes at the top or like call out boxes. But other than that, it is going to be very much a functional thing for me. So let's see, Tuesday I had a doctor appointment at 4. So anything that causes me to go out of the house that is not the school run is an event for me. Okay, I got home at 6. They were so busy there, but it was so cute. There were so many kids and they were adorable, running around, trying on their little glasses, driving their parents crazy. But they were like, not the bad kid crazy, they were like the why have I been waiting in here for 2 hours, like bored crazy. But they were like they were all like really not upset, like they were excited and like happy, but their parents were like over it. So I was like trying to like, I don't know, talk to the kids. I love kids. And talk to the moms a little bit, because yeah, we were waiting up in there for like flipping, like my appointment was for 4, but they didn't see me till 5:30, which is okay. I can see why that office is so busy, because they were really amazing there, and I'm excited to get my new glasses. And I'm also excited that I took care of all this before the holidays, so that I don't feel like, oh, maybe I should have looked into this problem, because what if I need this Christmas money for my health? But like, it really didn't end up being that pricey, everything that I did right now. So I think I really over worried about that for sure. Okay, tomorrow I have another doctor appointment at 10. So I'm not working until 12, and John is doing the school run. It's just a normal primary care checkup, re-up my meds, stuff like that. And then go back to my little Mason pharmacy that I love if I have time tomorrow, or if not, I'll have to go Saturday morning. I have to see how long it takes, because I can also like take lunch, you know. So well, you don't know, but now you know. Okay, on Sunday I am going to church and to meet my friend Bernita for coffee at 1. So church should be until 12. This is like me getting ready, us going, like that time block is for like all the time I need to get ready and go do the thing and be done. That's how I do it. It gets me confused if I only mark like the half hour that I'm at the doctor, because I think that's why a lot of people over plan. They overcommit because they only write down like, oh, I have a doctor appointment at 4, and they don't hold the space for that time that you're waiting and you're driving, and then you've tried to like cram a bunch of things into your evening that are not feasible. So I try to be really careful with that, and that's why I stick to my top 3 planning method, because I know life is always lifing, and I cannot realistically get more than 3 tasks that are other than work in the school run done in a day. Without feeling really crazy. Okay, Tuesday was also a company holiday. So I'm gonna put, but we did have, Emma did have school still. Because they had off on like Halloween weekend for their fall break. They do that because it coincides with the time change. And I think it is very smart on the part of our school district. What do y'all think so far? I mean, I think it's functional, but it's got a little bit of deco going on, but the daily pages are really going to be the more decorative part for me. Okay, Wednesday was K-Day, and there was like a lot of budget type of things going on. But I'll just mark a box here about the payday and the bills and blah blah blah. I did a lot of setup in my thicker paper daily before I got this one, but now that I've seen this one and how well the paper performs, I never threw that thing to the side so fast. I was like, one planner to rule them all. Yes, yes. Because that has been what I've been wanting. Ever since Hobonichi paper, you know, had the Tomoe River paper problem, I feel like I've been trying and trying to find a replacement, and this is it. This is literally like, this is the business right here. I feel like I want to do something different with this corner, not make it look like a scarf like I did before. Okay, now Monday, there was literally nothing going on, I don't think. I did my budget, and I was reading Shield of Sparrows, which I'm almost done with. It's a 600-page book, and I just pick it up when I feel like it. I haven't really pressured myself to finish it, but it is very good, and I will definitely be reading the second one. Okay, so I was reading there, and then I was also doing some budgeting to budget out for like my glasses and my appointments and stuff. I don't really know that this is like the time that I did it, but just to make the boxes a little bit spread out, that's where I'm putting it. I am going to invest, I am going to order it today. It's $20. It's Archer and Olive A5, really thick plastic stencil where you can make these type of boxes and circles really fast. Because probably my most hated thing about bullet journaling is getting the ruler and drawing boxes. So I know that if I want to last with this method, that I don't like stamps. Never say never about using them, but I really don't like them. I'm not good at using them, I don't feel, and yeah, I just don't like them. So like I said, never say never. I might get bored and change my mind and decide that I can master stamps one day, but they are definitely an investment, especially if you're going to use them for deco. And it is great that you can use them over and over, but okay. So that's going to be another like washi type border. And Saturday I have zero plans except order groceries. Well, I'm gonna order them actually on probably Friday and pick them up on Saturday. Now I'm getting real boxy. I could have just wrote that in, but I'm gonna have 0 boxes on Saturday. It's kind of weird. I'm not letting myself go to a little craft place. I want to go there, but doctors have taken a lot of my money, and I've gone for the past 2 weekends. So I need to slow my roll. Okay, grocery pickup. I want to sleep in the morning because I like sleeping in. There's nothing wrong with sleeping in and getting rest. Okay. It is looking good. Let's do the washi thing. I think what I want to do is watercolor pencil. Let me think. Well, that's gonna be orange. Okay, let's do this color. Wait till y'all see how cool this is. And yes, there is a method to my madness. You do not need to fully color it in like as if you're just using a colored pencil. And actually sometimes I might just like this style, like let it look more rough, but that's not what I'm going for right now. Okay, I'm gonna do some like gradient on the top. Okay, this is definitely a test of my skills. This could go so right or so wrong. I have not tried to do any gradient effects and oh no, I'm outside the line big time. I wonder if that would erase. I have a little Tombow eraser right here. It did. It kind of erased. Yes. So I want to make this look like a lot of the pinky purpley color, but then like mix in the other colors too. If this works, then I think this will definitely be playing a role in a lot of my spreads. So like I said, you don't have to make it look precise at all. And then I'm going to show you how you do the water part. I think it's going to look really cool. I hope. BRB. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Get a few Q-tips and get the ends wet in the sink. So like, you know, you don't want them to be too wet. Then you just smudge over where you did the watercolor pencil. The lighter color I'm going to use the opposite end so that they don't, you know, so like I can choose where the gradient goes. And you don't want to get this too wet at all, because if you do, it's going to go outside of the little lines that you created and it is going to have a problem on your paper. Okay, this looks cool. It's not, I'm not like, oh my god, best thing since sliced bread, but I like that it's in my repertoire of easy arty things that I can do since I am not an artist. I don't like the yellow. I love this part. I think the yellow was a mistake. Okay, you can also just use a paintbrush, okay? Don't try to like write or color over this while it's wet though. If you need to do any type of layering or fixing or anything like that, you got to wait till it dries. It takes about 15 minutes, maybe 20. And it is a little crinkly, kind of like Hobonichi paper, but similar to Hobonichi paper. It doesn't bleed through or anything. It will if you get it wet enough, so don't do that. Don't do it. Kind of want the end to be a little bit more soft, but I don't want to ruin my paper. So see, it's kind of crinkly, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me. So now we're gonna get us a fresh one. Gotta be a little more careful on this one because I will say too, you want to use like a Pigma Micron that is kind of water resistant. If you use like a Tombow to make your lines, you are going to have a big mess because Tombow is also water based. But I like this. I kind of like this. Like once I get the marker on with it and you can tell the difference, I think it's gonna look cool. I don't think this is something that is gonna be like a must for every spread. My kid threw a ball at the window. Kid. And John's laughing. He gonna be laughing if he has to replace that window. Okay, don't let me get my mom voice going up here. Okay. My hubby is so sweet. He's out playing basketball with Emma while I'm making my video. Okay. Now, if you want this more like dark, you can color it darker initially. I will say this bottom one, I'm not loving quite as much, but you know what? This year is going to be about a lot of experimentation. Okay, I'm going to make this sweater orange with purple details. Ooh, another thing that I love to do, y'all, is I color on my tablet on this app called Pigment. I have no affiliation. It's $9.99 a month, and they have coloring sheets, and you just use either your finger or your Apple pen or your stylus, whatever you have, to color them. And you can make them as like simple or advanced as you like. That's another part that I like about it. So I really like doing those, but since I started this project, I haven't felt really a need to do it because I'm coloring in here every day. Now that I have this on, I do really like the contrast of the light background. It's like I pressed harder on this side or something because there was more color. Another thing that I think you could do while it's wet is just put more color on the Q-tip. Let's try it. I mean, it makes sense in my brain, but does it make sense on a paper? I don't know. Yeah, that worked. I kind of just at least want it to match that side. Okay. Okay, that looks a little better, in my opinion. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll... No, it ain't wet anymore. Okay. Okay, let's continue with the coloring. I have this paper here not because of any bleed through issues, but because of if I go off the side, like, or something, I don't want it to get on another page or the side of my planner. Even though I have colored the sides of my planners before. Never say never. Might do it again. Cute. Let me see. These are my colors that I'm going to use for this month. I think that's one thing that's going to take me some getting used to, is using one color scheme for a whole month. Also, I was using a darker brown before instead of this one. And maybe I should have continued. My hubby sounds so hyper out there. He's off work tomorrow. That's probably why he's hyper. It's his Friday. Okay, yeah, I like that. I want to go over this one, but I'm going to be careful because when you start layering up the levels, that is where you could chance getting some bleed through, but it didn't bleed through. But if you notice, I'm like dabbing it very lightly and I'm not trying to like scribble on the paper, because I would never scribble on you, peaches. Little peachums. Let me see. Sorry for the grudge. Let's make the scarf Yellow. Well, I guess it's orange because I picked up orange on accident. Whoops. Good thing I wasn't stuck on that. Well, plus I made the sweater yellow, so. Go back to yellow on this leaf. I just kind of want a good mix of the colors, kind of spread out. Yeah, I'm not loving this gradient thing in the end, but I'm glad I tried it. Okay, the mushroom I am gonna make purple with orange dots. I find mushrooms really, really easy to draw. Okay. Or I don't know, maybe, yeah, I guess orange dots because I'm gonna make the pumpkin orange. So I'm gonna do that next before I decide like what else to make orange. You do need to let the Pigma Micron, the black marker that I'm using, dry for about 2 to 3 minutes before you try to do the Tombow over it, because if it's a little bit wet still, it will smear the black sometimes, occasionally, but it's not the norm. Okay. Cuteness. I like this. Okay, next I'm gonna do the dark purple here. This is where I need to put that under. That way I can go off the side like that and get all the way to the edge and not worry about it too much. And I'm not worried about perfection with being in the lines. I mean, it's good to stay in the lines, but you know. Man, this is when I wish I could use washi or something because I just really don't like that. I ended up liking this, but I'm not liking that. Let me think if I can think of a solution. Also, I want this to go all the way across. Okay. Next, I'm going to do some plaid on the corner. You can be as precise or messy with this as you please, depending on your mood, your style, for that spread, your overall style. I mean, there's a lot of factors. Doing 2 thin lines this time. Whoa. I know it. I drew on the other side. I'll wave it out. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Okay. That's cute. I feel like it could use one more color. I'm going to go with the brown just in some of the squares. I feel like more lines will just make it look kind of weird. It might have looked good, but I don't want to chance it. Okay. Maybe I'm getting tired. I'm not really loving this spread, guys. I kind of want to start over, but I'm not gonna. I feel like going like that, but I don't think that that would be smart. I'm not a smart man. Okay, bollocks. Okay, let's just move on. I think at the top, I can slightly fix what I don't like by adding some of the darker elements. Now that it's dry and I can color over this, I can draw some darker elements over some of the gradient. Okay. Stay with me, guys. It's gonna come together in the end. Okay, let's make a, oh, on this scarf, I wanted to put some hearts. Let's make a scarf here. And let's make it orange. I feel like I'm also not loving the 0.5 for the larger elements outline. I think I'll rather go back to the 0.8 that I've been using. Okay. Okay. Next, where's my white jelly roll? I wanna make some details there. Okay. And then I want to make some hearts on here like I did with the other one. Still not loving this top gradient. I wonder if I could just color over it like period to marker, but I'm scared. At least on the yellow. Because Tombow, you know, it's also water-based, so I think this was a good idea. I can darken it up. I don't know. I still don't love what's happening here, but I want to start over. I'm not gonna. We're gonna trust the process. I got really excited by the fact that the yellow was helpful, and now that's too dark. But it's like I need to do it over here now. It's like when you mess up one, you know, eyeliner in your eye, and it's just easier to mess up the other one than to continue to try to fix it to make it look like the good one. Who knows what I'm saying? Okay, like I said, Tombow can also smear, so we are really experimenting with this. If you try this at home, you are brave, because I already don't like it much, and I don't think this did anything except make it a darker something that I don't like. Okay, well, we're not doing that next week. And now we know. I won't go to bed with visions of gradient washi that I don't know how to draw. That's too much to white out. I'm not going to be able to like glue in a paper or anything over it. Oh my god, my dog is just wah wah wah. Okay, I just have to embrace the mistake or put a buttload of white out on it and try to draw over it, which I'm also not doing. So let's just move on with our life. I'm gonna put some brown drop shadows. We're not gonna write in all my appointments because I already told you about them, and then if I go back and write them in again, that's boring. Yeah, if you are still here, put a leaf in the comments, and bless you for watching a hot mess. I haven't made a weekly in a long time. That's part of the problem. I feel like I'm a brand newbie. This would have been so great if I would have just done this, not done this ugly plaid, and not done that gradient or those two huge things right there. Right? Just squint your eyes and pretend that I didn't do that, guys. This one won't be making the old Instagram. Nope. Sorry, weekly. You're not making the cut. Don't look at me like that. My dog's whining because I have food sitting beside me that I'm not eating, and he's like, "You gonna eat that, Ma?" But I'm not ready to eat yet till I finish this not cute spread. I'm racking my brain for a way to fix it without ruining the back of the page or ruining the next page or ruining my markers, unless I just say screw the weekly. But I really hoped that the white pen could help, but it doesn't really help on that leaf, does it? I kind of just want to white it all out. I mean, it's going to be apparent, but, and also that's just too much to white out. Let's try some other color jelly rolls, shall we? You can't get it more ugly at this point. Let's try to draw some hearts and see what happens. I might have to go over it several times because it's kind of like bleeding, and it's like it looks great when I draw it, but then when it starts to dry, something happens and it's like pulling weird or something. That's slightly better. Okay. Lord have mercy. Everyone's got to start somewhere, right, guys? This could be my great before picture at the end of the year. I'll be like, remember when I thought I could draw all those stupid influencer people. Oh my gosh, Kelly, what were you doing? Okay, sorry, I'm on oral steroids and they make me very weird, even more than normal. Okay, the leaf looks a little bit better. Okay, I'm seeing hope. Maybe false hope, but it's hope all the less. All the less? Nonetheless. I'm gonna use all the less a phrase. Okay, this makes the plaid look better because it just looks like, I don't know, that everything is more patterny. Okay, next thing. We're gonna get the 08 and outline these hearts. Oh, the marker is becoming compromised. Yeah, I know. Let's try the gel pen. There we go. Just compromising all the pens at this point. I think I have to let it dry longer, which I don't like. It looks slightly better, but you're still ugly. You're okay. Let's do some smoke and mirrors and just fill up more of the spread so that that's like not the main focal point where everyone's like, wow, wow, that's ugly. I have an idea. It's going to take 50 years, but it will deflect from the ugliness that's happening. So we're doing it. I keep saying it can't get worse. I mean, it could, but I hope it won't. I want like a lighter, like a wait, no. 942, yeah, 942. Here we go. I'm trying to be more precise here. and just make the whole thing look like more is more, to distract from the ugly top. I don't know if it's gonna work, but so far I think it is. Like, it already seems a little bit more balanced, and once that dries some, I'm gonna draw some more like black elements on top, because we're gonna go with more is more, since I already did more. So basically we're gonna make like a gingham pattern in the background. I've been doing a lot of makeup comparisons, but like, have you ever had like, you know, maybe your skin wasn't looking so great, so you piled on a bunch of makeup, and then you're like, oh great, now I have cake face. So then you just do like a whole bunch of eye makeup to distract from the fact that you had on no other makeup except for cake face, which makes you look weird. It's kind of what we're doing here. So far I think it's working. I look at the stripes more than the top, and this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to draw the eye away from the crap up top. Like, me? No, I'm not here. I'm also gonna hand letter sweater weather really big on the top to make people look at that. Look where I told you to look. Just kidding. Y'all, I worked on some stuff for work, like call out boxes mainly, and I was so proud of it, and it turns out I drafted it all up, and now next week I get to go fix it all. Womp womp. So that was part of my week besides the doctors, but it's okay. It wasn't like a it wasn't like I messed up something to a customer. It's just like design wise, style preference. My boss has a different idea to implement, which I think will be better, but I'm like, I wish I knew this before I did all the other work. OMG. I am not a weekly Bujo girl. On the dailies, I feel like, yeah, I can make it happen. But with the weeklies, it's not great, but it's better. Another thing we're gonna do is draw your eye to more this side. I'm gonna put something else cute over there that's bright and orange to make people want to look over there, not up there. So I think I'm gonna draw a big kawaii pumpkin. With some leaves. That already kind of draws my eye more than the top, but probably just because I'm looking at it. Okay. Gotta let that dry for a minute. Let's see. Okay, that looks more dry now. Oh yeah, there we go. The problem was I didn't let it dry enough last time. That looks so much better. It was just looking really muddy. So I will be practicing gradients in my Midori sketchbook next time. Should have done that. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Okay, okay. It's looking better. Yes. It's not looking absolutely terrible. I watched this lawn care YouTube called Midlife Stockman, and one of his like little sayings is not perfect but better, and that's what we're going for on this spread. It looks really, really weird with this down here being so light and everything else being so like whooping him. But It is what it is. I'm gonna try to go around the eyes and not over them so that I don't smudge it. If I fill this up with pen, it'll also really help if I write on the gradient. I mean on the gradient? No. On the gingham. So actually instead of writing sweater weather really big, I'm gonna make the spread really full. Even though it's already Thursday and it's mainly back planning, we're doing it. Okay, when that dries, I'm gonna put the Jelly Roll like lines on some of this over here too to make that look more on purpose. Lord of mercy, I jacked up. Being an artist is hard. Oh, there we go. And then I'll do after it dries, I'll do some black lines on it. Oh, that is cute. Okay, now let's do the stem. Okay, next we're going to put bows on the boxes. I think that will also make people look at the boxes more instead of the top. So I'm doing brown bows on the purple, purple on the yellow. Okay, and the rest orange. Put an orange on the orange and the brown. I feel like it's slightly coming together. But the Jelly Rolls kind of saved the top. I will say that. Let me know, are y'all still here for the hot mess? Comment, hot mess. Okay. Next, we're gonna use black dots. As if there wasn't enough going on the spread, we're gonna use black dots. If this isn't a test of if this paper can stand up to all the colors and all the things, then I don't know what is. Let's see how it's looking more balanced now, right? All right, guys. I'm gonna put a big Ace grocery list right there. World's okayest Bujo girl. If y'all have ever wanted to try it, now's the time. You can always say, see, Kelly did it worse. Mine's not so bad. It's like watching Hoarders. I know y'all can't look away right now. Okay, I still see some like kind of strange holes after I put the dots. So I'm gonna put just like a very few deco things where there is a small hole. Going with the more is more. You You can apply the same concepts with your stickers, even though stickers you can move them around, okay? And yes, I could try to do pencil first or get erasable markers, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna use what I have. Okay, I kind of like those just being black. I don't think I'm gonna color them in. Let me make sure the phone's not dead. Okay, let me fast forward and fill in the spread with the okay, y'all. Here is the finished spread. I don't love it, but I think my smoke and mirrors trick and adding more and more definitely worked to bring balance to this heavy top gradient washi mess thing. Like I added some black over this. I feel like that made it look better. But I want to show y'all, even with all the layering and coloring I did, nothing's bleeding through. There are some parts that are barely ghosting a little bit more. That part I marked on there by not being careful. So yeah, I'm super, super happy with the performance of this planner. I'm not that happy with the performance of my art. However, I believe that this was great practice for how to fix the mistakes that will inevitably arise. And I will be watching some inspo on Bujo weekly planning, because even though this is a vertical, it's pretty easy to just white out the top, white out the lines, and then this is just a big grid space for you to do anything with. So maybe I will just forego the vertical thing and you know, make those weekly spreads work for me a little bit better as well instead of a vertical view. So thank y'all for watching. If you watch this hot mess, you are a real one, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.